Welcome everyone to today's episode of Spark to Spotlight. I'm your host, Kara Chen, and joining us today is the founding team of Metridev, a platform designed to enhance performance in engineering teams by addressing their pain points. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much, Kara, and hello to everybody.
So great to have you, Adriana. Since the name of our episode is called Spark to Spotlight, let's start from the spark part. What spark inspired you to start Metridev, and how did your vision for the company evolve over time?
We have experience in IT. This is our second startup founded. So we were in a point that we saw that there was not a product like ours in the market. We think, okay, how can we make a better way to CTOs or managers to understand how they are performing? How can we help them? And that's the way we come up with the idea. I think 2 years ago. Over time, we understand that we have to evolve more our product, that we have to make it more friendly to understand. So it was a good experience for us to involve us more in the market to understand better our client.
Yeah, sounds interesting. Let's take one step back. Could you tell us a little bit about your background? Did you come from engineering background? Did you start as a developer, or what was your past experience that led you to this path of addressing engineers' problem?
No, I started studying medicine. I mean, far away from where I am now. At that time, I pivoted and I ended up studying business administration. And so I have 2 degrees, one in business administration and the other as an accountant. And then I start working in Huawei, a well-known company in China. There, I understand, okay, I can make numbers or business or budgets for the IT part. So I start there. And after that, I start working like a product owner. At that time, it was like a more analytic part. The product owner name is more recently, but I was doing that. From that, I keep growing and growing. That's the way I ended up here.
Did you ever code yourself, or you were more on the analytical side, like analyzing the codes other team member wrote in the past?
No, my role was more about understanding the client and the product, and if the product cope with the needs of the clients. I start like finding errors, finding bugs in the code, and my knowledge now is more related to the product side than the code side, the development side.
Yeah, that's a quite drastic switch, right? Between medicine to business, then from the business to the IT side. That's actually a good inspiration, a big inspiration for our founder community, because lots of us started something that we might not be familiar with before, or not something that we studied in school before, but we always have this self-doubt. Can I even do it if I never did it before, right? So you actually give us a great inspiration that anything's possible as long as you are determined.
Yeah, well, for me, the most inspiration, I feel proud of myself because I came from a low-income family here for immigrants. For me, I was the first one to have a degree and to go to university. And for me, it was like, okay, I'm doing this. I am proud of myself because I make something that nobody in my family did at that time. My family is a big one. We are almost 200. That's a lot. I make a good example for my cousins and my sisters and brothers too. So they can see a window that they can do something different from our parents or something different from our social status.
Yeah, you should definitely be proud of yourself, definitely. I have been in South America for a little bit of time. I definitely understand where you come from when you say you have a big family. The sense of family and bonding in that world is really amazing, right? Often people come with lots of cousins, lots of family members. That kind of atmosphere and the bonding between them is contagious, is passionate, it's so amazing.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah, take us back a little bit to the moment when this idea of starting Metridev started. Because you are not from the technical side, I'm sure you started with some technical co-founder. So how did you guys, for example, firstly get to know each other? What was the original relationship between the co-founders, and how you decided to split the role? Like you do the tech side, I do the business side, etc.
Well, I have known my co-founder for the last, 20 years, maybe more. We met at university. He was studying software engineering, and I was studying medicine. We became friends. And then later in life, we decided, okay, let's start a company. We were a group of friends, and there was a lot of idea to become independent, to have your own company, to earn money. That was the first goal. Then later we understand, okay, this is not to earn money. We have other goals. We want to have a success in your life, to make a mark, for example. We found our first company. It was a NetTech company, I think 10 years ago. And we had success. We sell the company, and then it's like when you lose something and you have free time and you don't know what to do and you miss the roller coaster that having a startup is. And so we thought, okay, we have to start a new one. We have to make this all over again. We can make better decisions. We can do this like in a better way now because we learn from the past. At that time, he was working at another company, making metrics for them. So he came up with the idea, what do you think? This is a good idea. You know about the market, you know about business. Please think about it. So I thought about it for maybe half an year. And then I realized, okay, there could be a space for us if we keep in mind that this product will be different, will be better, will be more helpful for our clients, for the industry. So we make some compromise between each other. We ended up founding Metridev after a lot of thinking and research. For me at least, it's important to understand first the market, understand if you will get at some point some product market fit, if you will have the money until that time, until that you reach the break-even point. So for me, it's about numbers, it's about finance, it's about the healthy part of the company. Not numbers about getting rich, because our main goal is to help people, but you have to survive. You have to take into account that you have to survive. You have to have the money until your product, until you have your MVP, until you have your first clients.
Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Because I'm interested in this topic of co-founders relationship, because this is often one of the most important topic that investors care a lot about. It also play a bigger role in the success of the company, right? How get along the co-founders. And we started to identify some patterns among the successful co-founders. A lot of them started the company after because they were friends first. So people first, they were friends first. Then whatever ideas coming up later, it's less important than they get along with each other first, right? So that's your case.
Yes, it's absolute. It was and still is definitely a point to help our company growth, because you have to be honest with with yourself and with your co-founder. It's not an easy path. You will have a lot of difficult things in the way, and you have to learn how to argue with your co-founder. It's not easy, but you have to respect each other. That's very important, to give the other the space and to be willing to listen and be willing to tell difficult things also. So if you are a friend first, it's easier.
Yeah, so with your co-founder, you have been friends for like more than 20 years. You already did one company together before, then you successfully exited, right? And this is the second company you are building together, right?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, so could you give us some examples during your working together? Are there certain times when you guys had an argument? And then in the end, how did you resolve it? Do you have any example for that?
Oh, of course, we argue, not all the time, but it's always about how we reach one point. I mean, you have plans, you have goals to reach, and there is always some argument about how is the best way to go there. For example, I try to listen to him more, or when it's something about how the product will evolve, when we can get, I don't know, some features. And he tried to listen me more when I'm speaking about a budget or finance or that kind of things. I think that we respect each other in that way because I have more experience in finance and he has more experience in IT. And maybe I had an idea and I said, okay, I see this feature. I see something like this in some of the competitors. I think we can make it better because we can sell more, because we can help our clients, because this is what they are looking for. And he said, okay, no, we can do that now. I can't do this. I can't make it happen now because I have other things to do. And so at the end, we try to call our heads down and to be the more pragmatic as possible. Usually we reach some point in the middle.
Yeah. Good to know you're on the more rational side and not like a drama in the movie. No. I understand your engineer, like your CTO, is obviously closer to the engineering front, right? And he probably has a better understanding of the features, how to make them possible. But you are coming from the client side. You probably are deeper in the client shoes, right? Whether what engineering is doing is really meeting clients' needs. That's something you need to have a discussion with him to reach the middle ground.
Yes. I mean, my mindset is this. I mean, we can't make a feature or something that we are not sure the client wants.
No matter who you are, whether you are the CEO or CTO, I guess leadership is one of the key traits being at the top level of your company. So could you share with us how was your professional past before that shaped you into the leadership role today? And what are the most important attributes you think of being a leader in the company?
I think for me is that you don't have to be selfish. That's the main thing for me. You have to share your knowledge. You have to give other people the space to grow, to learn, to make mistakes, to understand what they are doing and why they are doing it. My first job was like a helper of a hairdresser. I had to clean the store there, and that was my first job. And my boss was not good. And sometimes you don't know how to be a good boss, but you know how to not to be a good boss. So I try to avoid the mistakes that I saw in my previous bosses. And I try to improve myself as a boss. I try to not to feel myself that I know everything or I know the right answer. That's a good thing to have, to be, I don't know how to say, humble, and to give other people the space to tell you, okay, this is not good, you are not doing this in the best way possible, you can improve this. And I think if you feel that you have space to learn, that will make you a good boss. That knowing that you can improve, that you can be better, that you can know better, and try to learn, try to see how other people behave, and try to copy the good things and try to avoid the bad things that you saw. That's my main. I mean, the communication is a key for me, for myself. I don't know.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all these tips. Being a great leader, I guess every one of us is learning every day, trying to be better and better from our own position onwards, right? So how big is like the team size of Metridev now? And are they coming from all over the world remotely, or some of them are based in US or Argentina? And how you manage them to ensure that there is kind of the culture cohesion among the team members?
We are a small team now. We started the company 1 year ago, so we are now trying to growth. So our team is 15 people at the moment. So we are small now. It's easier when the team is this size because you can speak with them more directly. You know how they are doing. It's easier. It's easier. We have people from Latin America, from Colombia, Mexico, Peru, and Argentina. I mean, I had experience working with different with people from different countries, and it's a good experience because you learn how to be more flexible about other cultures. That's a key point to be a good leader. Talking about how to be a good leader, you have to be flexible to other cultures. You have to understand them, not judging. It's a good thing. The way they speak, the way they behave, it's different from myself. I hope our team grows in the future. But now I try to them to feel comfortable. I try our meetings to be short and effective, but in a way they can feel comfortable being around us and around other people, and giving them again the space to learn and to make mistakes.
That's absolutely right. You have a team member size of 50 people now. Do they get to meet each other? Are they kind of staying in the same city or purely remotely?
No, it's only remotely because we are far away from each other. Latin America, it's big, and Argentina is bigger. Well, not bigger than Brazil. Brazil is bigger, but we live far away from each other. So, for example, here in Argentina, we have content manager. She's working from, I think, 5,000 kilometers from here. So it's very far away. We can't meet. We plan to meet like in a meet and greet kind of event for us, but we are trying now to put our budget in other things. We hope in the future when we grow we can meet each other.
Wonderful. Tell me, what are the tech tools you use to keep the team working together? It might be communication tools. It might be some software you use internally. Share with us some of those tips of tools that you are using.
It's difficult to work with a remote team. We all know that. It's not to make some propaganda about ourselves, but we use our product in ourselves. The main thing about our product is to keep people working together for the same goals. So we have a notification inside our platform, and we send them notification about how they can keep track about their work, and we can keep track about everything. And we use ClickUp. We use a lot of things. We use Jira also, and we use sometimes WhatsApp, but it's not our main way of communicate. We were using Slack, but now we are using Google Chat.
Wonderful. So your own product also becomes one of the major products you use to keep the internal communication going, right?
Yes. For us, it's important to keep track about our work, about everybody's work, not only our employees, but about ourselves. This is a very good tool that helps us. And on the other hand, we test it because we are making new features, and we test it in ourselves if it is working before we send it to our clients.
Absolutely. So Metridev has been around 1 year old. Tell us some of the biggest challenges you faced at the early days of the founding. And how did you maybe overcome those challenges?
Well, you can see in my face the challenge. If you are an entrepreneur, you know that there is a lot of problems that you have to solve, starting by hiring the right people that is willing to pivot in different things, that feel comfortable with ambiguity, and it's not an easy task to hire people that has this mindset. For me, at least, for my co-founder, he will tell you, okay, we have this issue with the code, with the hosting, or with the servers, not hosting, with the servers. But for me, it's more about, okay, how can we get the best people with our budget, keep our budget, and try to make the break-even point. That was my main concern, because a lot of startups failed because they ran out of money. So it's not, maybe the product is good, but they don't have enough time with the money they have to reach to the break-even point. For me, it was the main concern. We already have the break-even point, I think 3 months ago. This was very challenging because we have to take difficult decisions, and this is the most difficult one. When we start, we have 2 options. The first one, okay, we can make the product that we want. It will take more time and money, or we can make some product in the middle that we can sell now. So now we have the product in the middle that we can sell. It's not the product that we want. It hasn't the features that we want. It's similar to our competitors, but we have our break-even point now. We didn't close our doors. That was my main concern. We have clients now. We are working to have more clients, and that was our one of the fights. Talking about the fights that we have with your co-founder, we need to sell. We need to not to lose money first, and then we can get to the point that you want. So that was our most challenging thing, because you don't know. I mean, you can research, you can lie to yourself, you can do a lot of things thinking that you are right and you are making the best decision possible, but you never know until you sell our product to more than one people. You don't know if you will survive.
Which option did you go? Did you end up with
the
perfect product, or the middle one, the prototype one?
No. The other one, it was too expensive for us. We didn't have at that time the budget or the right people to work. We need more senior engineering to develop our product, and we didn't have the money. So now we are making money, not much, but we are making money. Maybe this doesn't sound good if you are not in the entrepreneur world. If you are like me, you know that making some money, it's good for this stage of the company.
Yeah, break even is always a tough topic among startups. I mean, how can you get the best possible talent with the very limited resources you have? It's always a challenge. It also comes down to your leadership skill, right? How you motivate them, how you incentivize them with very limited resources you have.
Yes, we solved that, not having the senior one, maybe the senior front end, and we hire like a semi-senior one, but with willing to learn, like ready to growth, and ready to listen. And this is a two-way game for us, because, for example, in this case, this person learn a lot, could experience with our product. For us is, okay, we teach him, but now the time and money we invest in him is giving us the right product that we need now.
Yeah, that's very much the spirit of startup, right? kind of build something that's less than perfect, but you go out to the market and still test it out, whether it has a need or not in the market with this less than perfect product. And then you try to build it with all the resources you have. Once you have that validation from the market, okay, you already receive requests and needs from your potential clients, you can always come back and put in more investment to build a better product.
Yes, that's what we are doing now. And I am happy with the result. I mean, probably there is a better way to do it, but this is the way we could find at the moment. It is working for us. One of the main things that we have with our employees is that they know we are a startup. Some of them have experience working in startup. So for them, the problem was, okay, are you doing well? Are you having clients? Tell us if everything is okay. So for us, part of our work, for me, part of my work as a leader is how can I make them feel safe, that that they can have this job for a long time. They can have a rise or have a better position or feel safe. That's the word, safe, working with us. And well, we try to have conversations with them. We share with them how we are doing when we have a new client, and so we are in a good spirit. And I think this is a key point to having a startup, being an entrepreneur, that you have to have a positive mindset all the time, because if you don't have it, the people working with you will not have it either.
Yeah, entrepreneur and startup are very glamorous words. We hear a lot from the media. Sometimes the youth are very curious, right? They are very passionate. Oh, I want to get into the entrepreneur, the start word. No. But they actually have no idea what this word is like. So what would you say today's fresh graduate, if they just come out of the college, they say, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to work for a startup. What would you tell them what this kind of word is like, and how is it different from a corporate job? What would you tell them? The first things I will say, it's not easy, but it is possible. You have to be strong. You have to be hungry for success. You have to be willing to fail and be willing to learn in the process. But you can do it. I mean, everybody can do it. You only have to have the right mindset to do it. Wonderful. That's your advice for the employee side. Now let's talk a little bit about the client side. So do you still remember how did you get the first client to sign the deal with you? Yes. This is a good tip for entrepreneurs, that if you already have experience working in other companies, maybe you still have the contact. So they know you, they know that you are responsible, that you are a serious person, that you are willing to work and do the job. And they are the first that we approach, people that we worked before. It was like, okay, do you remember me? I worked with you at that time. I was your boss, or I was your employee, or whatever. And I have this new product. You know me well. Would you like to try it? Of course, a lot of them tell us, okay, I'm not interested, because they don't have they were not a qualified prospect. But some of them bought our product, so we were very happy. And we were relieved. But at that point, we were, okay, are you buying the product because you know me, or are you buying the product because it is helpful, it is real helpful for you? You know, when you start, you have a lot of doubts about yourself and about the product. So for us, the best point was when a company hired us, and it was a company that we never met before. Neither of us or our employees. And they said, okay, there is one company that is in our product. And that was our felt like real success for us, at least. Yeah, that gives you a great sense of success, of achievement, right? Because it was not a draw on your existing relationship. It's purely the benefits of your product is providing to them. Yes. So we were very happy. We celebrated. Yeah, absolutely. Every small milestone has to be celebrated on. So that's already a very good starting point. Draw strengths from your existing network to have the first couple of clients to start with. Then what is your plan to move on to the next stage when you have kind of exhausted all your existing clients? What's your plan to move on to the next one? What's your strategy to go to market?
Okay, this happens like a few months ago. We ran out of contacts, and at that time, I try to always think ahead, like 3 or 6 months ahead of in our roadmap when we start, because we learn about in our previous company that our lowest point was in the sales. Sales is difficult, it's scary for us, it's scary to be an entrepreneur and have to sell. It's, for me, it's like having a job interview that other people is evaluating your you and saying, okay, are you good or not? That's the way I feel about selling, because I know this is a low point in our company. We hire someone with experience and we spend some money there. I mean, we have limited budget, but we know that we need someone with experience, and this person helped us a lot. He make a whole marketing and sales strategy, and it's working for us now.
Oh, that's a very useful tip. So once you reach that plateau where you exhaust the existing network, then you bring in the professionals who knows how to do sales, for example, from that particular field.
Yes, but you have to hire these people before you run out of your contacts, because it took maybe between 1 and 2 months to make the whole strategy work.
Wonderful, wonderful tip. Okay, so now let's get to a little bit about your personal side. So on your personal kind of life, beyond your professional life, how do you balance your work and your personal life where you have lots of other responsibilities?
I know a lot of people and entrepreneurs that for me and for them, the most important thing is mental health. That means that you have to have a good balance in your life to cope with all the problems you will face in making a startup, being an entrepreneur, because you will have a lot of problems and concerns. And for me, for example, I try to meditate, and if I need help, I go to therapy. Here is very common. I know that it's not common in other countries, but here everybody goes. I meditate and try to walk in some green space like a forest or trekking or something. My advice is that trying to make something that keep your mind free for the problems that you have in your startup. the problems you are facing, whatever it works for you. Maybe a Netflix series or reading something, whatever it is that make you feel at ease, calm, for at least some amount of time during the day, because you have to work a lot and you will worry a lot. You have to work long hours. This is another thing. You will not work from 9 to 6. You have to work more than that. And it will help if you can do things that you enjoy.
What are some of your passions or hobbies that you enjoy and find enriching that actually keep you away from those troubles? What are your interests and hobbies?
Because I am from the south of this country, and there you have a lot of mountains and lakes, I love to go out and do some trekking or walking, or maybe some kayaking, something outside, something in the woods. And in my house, I love decoration, so I see some series and I try to replicate the things in my house, and that helps me to relax.
Yeah, definitely. The activity related to nature and art, creativity is definitely something that can keep you relaxed, but also very enjoyable, right? Spend time with yourself and kind of reflect on yourself.
Yes, it helps you a lot. You have to feel at ease at some point of the day, because it helps you to be more pragmatic, more concentrate in your work later, in the things that you have to do during the day. So I woke up at 6 in the morning, work out, go outside, and then start working. That's my routine, if you want to know. I don't know.
Yeah, tell us like what your routine is like on a daily basis. What's your routine like?
Here we are in winter, so it's very dark in the morning, but I usually wake up at 6 in the morning. I feel that I can enjoy more the day and have more time for do something else before the hard work start. I try to start at 8 in the morning. I work until maybe 20, because I like what I'm doing, not because because you usually see some negative movies that say, okay, you don't have to work your life, you do these things, you are not enjoying your life. Well, I am enjoying my life. I like what I do. So for me, it's like I work until 20 p.m. because I like to work, because I enjoy doing this, because I feel, I don't know, proud for doing something like this, to making something, to build something from scratch. So I like to do that. And later I try to see some movies, to do some decorations in my house. I'm living in a new house now, so I'm having fun.
Yeah, it's like from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 12 hours of work per day. I mean, entrepreneurship is really not for everyone. It takes a certain personality to do it, and you have to like it. Yeah, and having work and life balance is one of the biggest challenges for founders, because there's no way for you to plug out. Your mind is always in there, even you are outside of your office, right? Because you have the ownership of your business. I mean, yes. your tips of how to keep our mind away from those things related to work is very important. We have to find a way to relax ourselves.
Yes. I try not to work on weekends, but usually I end up working or doing something or planning something. But I try to go out, to go to some new city, some town, go out. Speaking with people helps me a lot. Do something else.
Yeah, hopefully as the company grows bigger, you will have more and more freedom to yourself to how to spend your time, right? Once the team become more autonomous on themselves.
Yes, and it's not difficult for entrepreneurs to keep yourself accountable, because there is no one there is no boss to tell you how you have to work, that you have to do some things. You have to be responsible, you have to be serious about your work, you have to be honest about what are you doing and what you are not doing, and you have to be like a grown-up.
Absolutely, that's the right word. You have to be a grown-up to be responsible for your own life, for your own action and the consequences of your action.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today, Adriana, and sharing your amazing story and experiences with us. It's been wonderful to get to know Metridev with more depth and colors.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Carol. And I hope these tips will help someone. And if you have one tip for me, please let me know.
Definitely. To all our listeners out there, thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you soon again in our next episode with Inspiring Founders.